What is going on, guys? Justin here with my Mega Sega haul. And for those of you who saw my last garage sale video, I made a brief mention of this, but I'll quickly recap how I came about all this stuff. Everything I'm about to show was originally discovered while I was out garage sailing. I went to a sale, I'd asked about game stuff. The lady was telling me how they have this whole big Sega setup, and she invited me into their house to check it out. I wanted to buy it right then and there, but unfortunately, I guess it was their husband's stuff. They didn't know what they were asking for it. So, long story short, a few days later, I ended up making a deal for everything. And of course, I'll tell you guys what I paid for it all at the end of the video, but I'm anxious to get into this here. So let's start out by showing the systems that I got. I'll start out with this bad boy here. The Sega Genesis, Sega CD, Sega 32X combo. I don't think this is technically considered the Super Battleship formation. I think that term might be reserved for the Model 1 Sega CD. But this is a Model 1 Sega Genesis on a Model 2 Sega CD with the 32X adapter. All in pretty good condition. The top of the 32X here is scuffed, and there's a few scuffs and stuff on the other two systems here. But other than that, it's in pretty nice condition, and it came with the extender piece here, which I guess I can show. I don't have the mount. It didn't come with a mounting bracket to put it on here, but that would go right there so that the Model 1 sits a little more flush on this Sega CD unit there. But other than that, it came with everything needed to hook it up. I mean, you got 1, 2, and 3 power adapters that you need to power that bad boy. And then there was the RF cord here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 controllers here. Big mess of controllers. See, 4 of them were 3 buttons, 1 6 button, and then 1 Pro pad. A few of those have some wires exposed and stuff, so I'm not sure if they all work, but I'm sure at least half of those work. And then this here, which is the important cord, this is the cord that goes from the 32X to the Genesis, the patch cord I believe it's called, and this adapter on the end here, which is the important part because this allows it to plug into a Model 1 Sega Genesis. I remember when these used to be really hard to find, but now I think there's a bunch of knockoff companies making them, so you can get imitation ones pretty cheap, but I believe this one is original. There's also these in there, which I believe are the audio patch cables or audio mixing cables. I don't think these are original though. I have had an original one in the past and I don't remember it looking like this, but I'll have to do some more research on those. It came with the Sega CD manual here, and then these 2 metal brackets, which I believe are supposed to go inside of the Sega Genesis cartridge slot. And you put the 32X in. I don't know if it's supposed to reduce interference or what the purpose of them is, but I believe that's where those go. So in addition to that, there was another Sega Genesis system in there, a high definition graphics model system. I don't know that this one works. The guy told me he wasn't sure if it worked, and just based on the fact that they had 2 Genesis systems, I'm assuming one of them doesn't work. But I'll test it anyway. These high definition graphics ones go for quite a bit more than the non-high definition graphics ones. I don't know if there's a real big difference other than just that printed on there. There might have been some audio differences as well. But let's get into some of these games here. I'll start out by showing the Sega CD games. I believe there's about 20 of them in here. So I'll go ahead and start out with Eternal Champions. And all these Sega CD games I got are complete. There was no disc-only games in here, which was awesome. And for the most part, they're all in really nice shape. I didn't check every single disc, but all the ones I did were in nice shape. And the cases, you got to expect a few of them to be cracked and broken hinges and stuff, but for the most part, they're all in good shape. So, Eternal Champions, Space Ace, a cardboard box here of Prince of Persia in really nice shape, a little bit of crushing on the back corner here, but other than that, that one's in really nice shape. Money Morphin Power Rangers. We got Dracula, Cliffhanger, Battle Corps, Demolition Man, Microcosm, Jurassic Park, Mad Dog McCree, which I believe is a light gun game, Surgical Strike, Joe Montana's Football. This one was pretty sweet. Dragon's Lair. Of course, you got to have your Sewer Shark. I'm sure that came packed in with the system when they originally got it. Mortal Kombat, which was surprisingly expensive when I had looked that one up. Ground Zero Texas. This one was sweet. Cardboard box of Road Avenger. Not in very good shape. You can see it's crushed on the side there. But to get this one complete was pretty awesome. And then a cardboard box of Rise of the Dragon, which I think this is a lot more hard to find than the plastic case version. I've had a few of those over the years, but I've never seen it in the cardboard. So that was all for the Sega CD games. But let me show the few Sega CD 32X games that I got with this deal. So I believe they only made 5 of these total, and I have 3 of them here, with the winner being Night Trap. And these are kind of hard to open to show without everything falling out of these, but they all were 100% complete. I don't want everything to fall out, all the way down to the digital pictures tattoos that were originally in these cases. They all came with one. So I believe this one has gotten pretty expensive. I don't know if that has to do with, I think they just recently announced a remake or a revamp of Night Trap. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but that one was definitely the winner of the bunch. There was also Corpse Killer and Supreme Warrior. Both of those were complete as well. So I'll show I got some Sega 32X cartridges with this deal. Unfortunately, none of them were complete with the boxes, but all of them came with their manuals. And I think I actually got a couple manuals in here for other things as well. But we got Virtua Racing, Virtua Fighter, Mortal Kombat 2, Cosmic Carnage, and you gotta have your Doom. So then for the Sega Genesis, I also got some games. Oh, there was a Star Wars arcade for the 32X as well. For the Genesis games, there wasn't a ton of them in here, but 1 or 2 of these I think I needed for my collection still. We got Batman Returns, Joe Montana Football, Eternal Champions, Sonic Spinball, Sonic the Hedgehog, Evander Holyfield's Boxing, Jungle Strike, which if this is complete, yep, this is one I still needed for my collection. And then there were some loose cartridge Genesis games in here as well. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, got Vector Man, the 6-pack, Sonic Classics, which that was one of the extra manuals that I got as well, Tom and Jerry. And then the final Genesis game that I got was pretty sweet. It's the Lethal Enforcers box set here, and so I believe it is complete. I'm not 100% sure what was supposed to come with this, but yeah, here's the box here. Not in beautiful condition, but definitely collection worthy for me. I don't have this yet. And then in the inside here was the gun, the justifier with the game, and then the manual for the game is underneath here, if you can see that. Found it kind of funny that I think they used this same packaging for the Sega CD version of the game, because if you look here in this little mold here, you can fit a CD case right there. So they must use the same packaging for the Sega CD version, which I think I've owned before. But anyway, so that was all of the games that I got, and that was everything that I got with the deal there. So what did I pay for everything? And here's kind of how the whole pricing thing broke down. When I was originally there, the morning I was garage sailing, obviously like I said, they couldn't sell it to me then. They didn't know how much they were charging for it, but I exchanged numbers with the son that was there, and later that afternoon I got a text from them that said they were asking $600 for everything. And so when I saw that, I was originally disappointed, because I'd taken a picture of everything and I had priced everything out myself, and I came up with like a total value of the whole lot of around $700 to $750, but that was like everything pieced out one by one, full-blown retail prices, no bundle deal or anything. So obviously I couldn't pay anywhere close to $600 for everything, so it wouldn't have been any kind of a deal. So I texted him back. I said, look, I can pay $250 for everything, and I didn't hear anything back. Go figure. But I didn't give up. A few days later, I messaged him again and said, look, I can go up to $300 if that'll help out. And surprisingly, later that night, I got a message that said, yeah, sure, we'll take $300 for everything. So I went up there that night, picked it up. The husband was there, the dad, and I gave him the money. I got to talking to him about some of the stuff. You know, he clearly enjoyed it throughout the years and was just ready to pass it along. So I was pretty pumped to get all of that for $300, even though there was nothing, you know, there was no, you know, Lunars or Final Fights. None of the games were anything real spectacular. No Web of Fire for the 32X or anything like that. But just the amount of them that I got in the condition that I got and the completeness of everything that I got is just not something you ever see. I haven't seen a Sega lot this complete in a very long time. So I was real happy about that. And oh yeah. On the way to pick up this Sega deal, I stopped and met up with somebody else, completely unrelated, but also semi-related because it was a Sega Nomad system that I picked up for $45 on the way to get the rest of this stuff. So I just thought that was kind of funny and figured I'd show it quick because kind of two bizarre Sega purchases back to back within 15 minutes of each other. So anyway, that was everything that I got, my mega Sega haul. Thank you guys for sticking around and checking out this video, and until next time, take care.